My name is Nora Williams. I am 29 years old. On the night of my promotion party, someone tried to kill me. A man followed me to my car, attacked me, and left me for dead in a parking lot. The police caught him 3 days later, but when he finally spoke, my blood ran cold because he told them who had sent him, and that name destroyed me completely. Before I tell you who it was, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and tell me your country in the comments. Now, let's begin. The restaurant was filled with lights, laughter, and noise. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy. And in the middle of it all, I stood there holding a glass of champagne, completely overwhelmed. My name was on the board, Senior Director. After 7 years of working, of late nights and early mornings and never stopping, finally, it was mine. My colleagues were clapping, my manager gave a speech, my parents were there, emotional, proud. And right beside me, as always, was my best friend, Jade Ellis. She hugged me tighter than anyone that night. "You deserve this more than anyone," she whispered in my ear. I laughed, trying not to cry. "We both know you helped me get here." She pulled back and smiled. "Tonight is yours. Enjoy it." We had been best friends for 11 years, since university. Same dorm, same classes, same terrible dining hall food. She was the first person I called when something went wrong, the last voice I heard before sleeping on hard nights. She knew everything about me, every fear, every dream, every secret. I trusted her completely. Too completely. The party went on for hours. We ate, we laughed, we took pictures. Jade never left my side. At one point, she leaned closer and said, "Let's do one more round of drinks, then head out together." I smiled. "Give me 10 minutes. I need some air." She nodded. "I'll get the drinks. Come back soon." I grabbed my coat and slipped out through the side door. The parking lot was quiet. Cool air, city lights. I took a slow breath, just standing there, letting the moment settle. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned. A man was walking toward me, fast, too fast. I didn't even have time to speak. He grabbed me from behind. Something hit the side of my head hard. The world tilted sideways. My knees hit the ground. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. Everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, everything was blurry. I could hear voices, beeping sounds, someone crying nearby. My body felt heavy, like I couldn't move. Pain shot through my head the moment I tried to lift it. "Stay still," someone said. I blinked slowly. White ceiling, hospital lights. I was alive, but something felt wrong, very wrong. My mother was standing in the corner, her hand over her mouth. My father sat beside the bed, his head down. "What happened?" I whispered weakly. My mother rushed forward and grabbed my hand. Her hands were shaking. "You were attacked," she said. Her voice broke on the last word. I closed my eyes. The parking lot, the footsteps, the darkness. It came back in pieces. The police came the next day. 2 officers. Their faces were serious. "We are investigating the attack," one of them said. "Do you remember anything? Any detail at all?" I told them everything I could. The footsteps, the man, the speed of it, how I never saw his face clearly. The officer nodded slowly, writing everything down. "Was there anyone who knew your schedule that night?" he asked. "Anyone who knew which exit you used, where your car was parked?" I frowned. The guest list was small, close people only. He looked at me carefully. "We're still investigating, but this might not be as simple as it looks." I frowned. "What do you mean?" He didn't answer directly, just, "Be ready. We'll update you soon." And as they walked away, for the first time since waking up, a strange feeling crept into my heart. Something wasn't right. This didn't feel like a random attack, and deep down, I knew the truth was going to be much worse. 3 days later, things changed. The police called my father and told us to come. They had caught the man. He was ready to talk. I was still weak. My head was bandaged. My body ached with every step, but I insisted on going. They took me in a wheelchair. We reached the station. The air inside felt heavy, cold. They opened the door to the investigation room, and I saw him, the man who attacked me. He was sitting on a metal chair, his face badly bruised, lips cut, fresh marks on his arms. He looked like the last few days had been hard on him. 2 officers stood behind him, watching, waiting. But when his eyes met mine, something felt wrong. There was no regret in them, no guilt, just fear. "Start talking," one of the officers said coldly. The man stayed silent. The officer stepped forward. "A woman nearly died because of you," he said sharply. "Speak." The man winced. "I already told you everything," he mumbled. "Then say it again," the officer said, louder. My hands were shaking. I could barely breathe. I just kept staring at him, waiting, needing answers. Finally, he spoke, but what he said changed everything. "I didn't choose her myself," he said slowly. The room went silent. Everyone froze. My father leaned forward. "What does that mean?" The man swallowed hard. "Someone hired me." Silence filled the room. "Who?" the officer asked firmly. The man hesitated, then said it. "A woman. She contacted me 2 weeks ago, gave me the location, the timing, everything, told me to make it look random." My heart dropped. The room froze. My father stepped back slightly. I felt like I couldn't breathe. "A woman?" my father said slowly. His voice was very quiet. "Are you saying this was planned?" The man nodded weakly. "Yes." Tears filled my eyes. "No," I whispered. "No, this can't be." "I was given instructions," the man continued. "The restaurant, the side exit, the parking spot. Each word felt like a knife. This wasn't random. Everything was planned precisely." The officer stepped forward. "Who is she?" he asked. "Tell us the name." The room went silent again, waiting. The man looked down at the table. "I only knew her by phone. We never met in person." The officer's voice sharpened. "Then how did you know she was real?" "She paid half up front," he said quietly. "Cash, delivered to a location she chose. I never saw her face." My mind was spinning. Someone planned this. Someone who knew exactly where I would be, exactly which door I would use, exactly where my car was parked. Someone who was inside that party. My chest tightened. My hands turned cold. The police promised they would keep digging. They would trace everything, every call, every payment, every detail. But as I sat there in that cold room, one thought kept repeating in my mind, over and over again. The only person who knew I was stepping outside was the one who offered to get the drinks, and that thought terrified me more than anything. Days passed after that interrogation, but nothing felt normal anymore. Every moment felt heavy. Every message felt suspicious. Every memory felt different now. The police kept investigating. They tried everything, tracing the number, checking the cash delivery location, pulling every record they could find. But the trail was careful, deliberate. Whoever did this had been smart about it. The case started slowing down, but one person didn't stop: my father. He wasn't just a worried parent. He was a man who believed in finding the truth no matter how long it took. He hired a private investigator, said nothing to me until he had something real. 2 weeks later, he called me into the living room. My mother was already sitting there. The investigator sat across from them, a folder on the table in front of him. My father looked at me. His face was unreadable. "They found her," he said. My breath stopped. "Who?" I whispered. He didn't answer immediately. He looked down at the folder, then back at me. Before I tell you, he said quietly, I need you to sit down. I sat. He opened the folder, slid a single photograph across the table toward me. I looked down at it, and my whole world stopped. It was Jade. A photograph of her at the cash delivery location, timestamp in the corner, her face clear, unmistakable. My body went completely still. My mother reached forward and held my hand. Her grip was tight. I couldn't speak, couldn't move, just stared at the photograph. Jade, my best friend, 11 years, every birthday, every crisis, every 3 a.m. phone call. Jade. The investigator spoke quietly. The phone used to contact the attacker was traced to a device registered under a fake name, but the delivery location had a camera, and the cash pickup matched her movements on that evening exactly. My father looked at me carefully. Are you okay? I didn't answer, because I wasn't. The police moved quickly after that. They picked her up the next morning. I asked to be there when they questioned her. They said no at first. My father convinced them. I sat behind a one-way glass and watched. She sat in the same room the attacker had sat in, same metal chair, same cold air, but she looked different from him. She wasn't bruised, wasn't broken. She sat straight, calm, like she was waiting for a meeting. The officer asked her directly, "We have evidence placing you at the payment location. We have phone records, we have a witness. Do you want to tell us your side?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then she looked at the glass, almost like she knew I was there, and then she spoke. "Yes," she said, "I did it." The room behind me went completely silent. My mother grabbed my arm. The officer leaned forward. "Why?" Jade looked down at her hands. "You want the honest answer?" she said quietly. The officer said nothing, just waited. She took a slow breath. 7 years, she said. I watched you get everything, every promotion, every opportunity, every piece of recognition. She paused. While I sat in the same position for 4 years, same title, same desk, same salary. Tears were already falling down my face. We started at the same place, she continued. Same university, same grades, almost the same results. Her voice grew quieter, but somehow it was always you, always Nora. Her jaw tightened. Our manager talked about you constantly. The clients asked for you at every meeting, every event, your name. My hands were shaking. She looked up at the glass again, and then the promotion. She let out a slow breath. Senior director. The position I had applied for twice. Both times I was told I wasn't ready. She paused, and then they gave it to you. I pressed my mouth over my face. Her voice dropped to almost nothing. I just couldn't watch it anymore, she said. I couldn't sit at that table and smile and pretend I was happy for you. Not again, not that night. So I decided, she said slowly, if I can't have it. Her eyes stayed fixed on the glass. Then neither should you. My legs felt weak. So you tried to have me killed, I whispered, even though no one could hear me through the glass. The officer's voice was flat. You understand what you're confessing to. She nodded once, calmly, like it was nothing. The trial lasted 6 weeks. The attacker testified, the phone records were presented, the photograph from the delivery location, her own confession recorded in full. The judge gave the final decision. 15 years, no early release consideration for 3 years minimum. That was it. Justice was served, but nothing felt right. I go back to work now, same office, same desk. Sometimes I walk past the chair where she used to sit and I stop for a second. 11 years of friendship, birthdays and bad days, and everything in between. All of it real, or so I thought. The person who knew me better than anyone had looked at my happiness and seen something to destroy. And no matter how much time passes, that truth will always stay with me.